Judge Merchan is doing his best to keep the Trump criminal trial on track. But outside the courtroom, the circus continues. Trump's political entourage has been lining up outside the courthouse to trash the trial. And today, they're not just Donald Trump's friends. They are members of Congress, not in Washington doing their jobs. They're at the courthouse. Representatives Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz were outside that courthouse cheering him on. Watch this.
This is a made-up crime. No other American in the country would be charged with this type of crime. It's like the Mr. Potato Head doll of crimes.
We have corrupt judges who he's not even allowed to speak of because of their corruptness. This is a scam. It is a sham. It is a show. And we are here to expose every bit of it.
I hear you could expose to me. What in the world is the Mr. Potato Head of crimes? I don't even know. Educate me, Lauren Boebert. For more, maybe these two men can help. Let's bring in David Plouffe, former campaign manager and senior advisor to President Barack Obama, and Reed Galen, co-founder of the Lincoln Project. He has also worked on a number of GOP campaigns, including John McCain, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and George W. Bush. David, what do you make of all these Republicans rolling up to support Trump? And I know I sound like a nerd. This is a work day for them, right? I'm guessing none of them took vacation. They didn't show up to work in Washington. They came to New York. Are their constituents aware?
Well, they should be. It'll also be interesting to see if we ever get visibility into the expenses. How was this paid for? Their train tickets and their Uber Black rides from D.C. to New York. But, you know, this has become a parade now. I think now there must be a sense that Donald Trump is keeping a list of who shows up and who doesn't. So I'm sure we'll see more, in the early part of next week. And listen, if in fact, let's hope this isn't the case, but if the jury decides either not guilty or hung jury, I'm sure there'll be a rally with all the VP contenders and many members of the House and Senate. It's a pathetic display, but, this is kind of what happens. He expects people to kneel on his behalf. It's really been quite a procession over the last 7 days. To see, really serious people, governors, members of Congress, senators who have really important day jobs, kind of make a spectacle of themselves.
Well, then that doesn't sound like they're very serious people. It sounds like they're people with very serious jobs that they are not showing up to. And today, the GOP actually risked their majority because so many of them were up. They risked their control, right? The control they have on the House floor, because so many of them were up in Washington. Were up in New York, Reed.
Well, I think we always have to remember, Stephanie, that they don't actually care about governing. And they don't really care about what Speaker Mike Johnson wants anymore either, because they're mad at him now, too. I would also say that, look, these are the people, Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, these are the people you have come to the microphones to defend you. These are not exactly what I would call the paragons of good personal behavior. In fact, they're exactly the type of people that Donald Trump would want around, because they're little clones of him. And speaking of their constituents, Lauren Boebert doesn't even live in her district anymore, so she's not even worried about her constituents anymore. And so, yeah, look, I think that these are bad people doing bad things, and they don't care about their jobs in the first place, and most of them live in districts or in states where they're never going to lose, and they all want that beautiful, perfect phone call, Stephanie, that says they're going to be the next person who might be threatened with hanging.
Oh, my God. All right, Reed, here's another thing. Before his arrival at the courthouse, Gaetz also tweeted that his posse was, quote, standing back and standing by. Did he write this to wink at extremist groups, or did he write it so we would all set our hair on fire? Or did he get a 2-for-1 and get both?
Oh, no, I think we got a twofer. I think it was absolutely a wink, a nod, a bullhorn, all of it. And I think we see this, like we saw in Texas today with Governor Greg Abbott pardoning a man who shot someone else during a Black Lives Matter protest 4 years ago. This stuff is not an accident anymore. We're seeing this stuff not only from Gaetz trying to be too cute by half, if such a thing is possible for him, but also now this is state-sponsored, saying, people can take extrajudicial actions into their own hands, and we're going to think it's fun and funny, and we're going to encourage it between now and November.